फाटले कितले दीस जाले म्युनिसिपालिटी इलेक्शनाचे उलयत जाल्यार पयले म्युनिसिपालिटी इलेक्शन डिक्लेअर जालें मागीर मोदें प्रॉब्लम जालें तुमी सुप्रीम कोर्टान गेले तुमकां लागून म्युनिसिपालिटी इलेक्शनाचे रिजर्वेशनाचो इश्यू सॉल्व जालो मागीर तुमी परतो फुडें गेले. हाउ इट हॅज बीन गोईंग ऑन फॉर स्पेशली फॉर गोवा फॉरवर्ड यू टॉक अबाउट अलायन्स एवरीथिंग एज फार एज म्युनिसिपालिटी इलेक्शन.
म्युनिसिपालिटीच्या इलेक्शनाची हिस्ट्री म्हळ्यार अशी की BJPचो सरकार गोंयान चिटींग करनासतना रडी खेळनासतना कांयच जिखूंक शकना. म्हळ्यार मार्च 20 तारखेक जें इलेक्शन जावपाचें आशिल्लें जंय रिजर्वेशन तांणी मॅन्युप्युलेट केल्लीं तांकां जाय ते भशेन आनी ज्यातून बायलांक OBCक आनी शेड्यूल्ड ट्रायब म्हळ्यार विकर सेक्शन ऑफ सोसायटीचेर जो अन्याय जातालो हाजे विरुद्ध आमची पार्टी कोर्टान गेली. कोर्टान वचचे पयलीं एक प्रिएम्प्टीव रीट पसून आमचो ब्लॉक प्रेसिडेंट सुजय लोटलीकर म्हण ताणें घाल्ली की हें तांकां करूंक मेळचें न्ही म्हणून चिटींग. जावन पसून ताणें केलेंच आनी म्युनिसिपल एक्ट पसून एमेंड केलो. ताजे मागीर जेन्ना इलेक्शन डिक्लेअर जालें मार्च 20 तेन्ना आमी थंय पळयलें की 33% रिजर्वेशन जे बायलांक जाय तें तांणी करूंक नाशिल्लें, कमी केल्लें. OBCक 27% जाय तें कमी केल्लें, STक कमी केल्लें. सो हाजे खातीर आमी न्याय ह्या सेक्शनाक मेळपा खातीर कोर्टान गेले. कोर्ट upheld our petition and ruled that by April 15th you have to conduct an election which should be properly done with a policy for reservations. Government thought that we will take this matter to the Supreme Court. So they tested this High Court judgment in the Supreme Court, thinking that we will not have the perseverance to go to Delhi, to fight in Delhi. But we went and fought in Delhi. And the Supreme Court upheld the High Court's judgment and certified that this government, BJP government in Goa, is a government of cheats. Kartad footingacho sarkar म्हणून तांणी certify केलें and ruled that this election should be completed by April 30th and that the election should have a impartial setup which includes first the reconstitution of the SEC. The state election commissioner could not be an employee of the state government, has to be an impartial person. So ह्यो सगळ्यो ज्यो वस्तू जाल्यो ह्यो आमचे खातीर जाल्यो and in a way helped democracy at the grassroots level in India, because this has now become a precedent for India where several state election commissioners who were government bureaucrats have been told to resign and neutral people have been brought in the state election commission. However, we still find government interference, money, muscle power unabated even in our constituencies. And this continues, but we are going to fight this. We believe that this BJP government is like a pandemic. Just like they have mismanaged the COVID situation nationally as well as the state level and put India and Indians at risk. We are become a red category country for the world. The political leadership in this government in Goa from 2019, Goa is having a political pandemic. This political pandemic has a solution, and the people are the solution. The people are the vaccines of this political pandemic. And the first dose, I'm sure, will be given tomorrow at the municipal election time. On 23rd of April, that will be the first dose, and the second dose will be at the assembly election time. And I'm sure Team Goa will emerge victorious against the Team BJP, which is a coalition of ganja, of coal, of everything that is anti-Goan. And we will able to install a Goinkarwadi Sarkar in 2022.
When you talk about first dose, second dose, first dose is municipality, which you have to go ahead. So how has been the setup for you as a party president of Goa Forward, whose panel is leading the way, and especially for Vijai Sardesai as a holy father?
See, my party was formed when a successful experiment of the Goa Forward Panel in 2015 managed to get 11 out of 11 seats of Goa. Then we decided, I just made a small comment that we have taken Goa forward, we may take Goa forward now. What's आमचो विचार? आता आमी परतो घेतात. We have revived the Goa forward concept. Our panel constitutes of 70% new faces, giving representation to all communities. All the communities. No panel in Goa has got all communities representation. Ours has all communities representation, all age groups from 26 to 62. So we have a dynamic panel which is representing every community, every age group, and we will just give justice to all. We are promising a future-ready Fatorda. Our motto is Fatorda first. We are not talking of the whole Margao municipality. We are thinking of Fatorda and maybe 2 words in Kurtori. But Fatorda first is the motto. What we are promising is a future-ready Fatorda. And the mantra is very simple. Mat tumche, काम आमचे. We are asking people, mat तुम्ही दियात, काम आमी करतले. फाल्यां एक दीस मातसो sacrifice करा. I understand that there is a rising COVID cases in the state. The situation is grave. It is also scary. But we will see that every person takes due care, has duly brought out. We are giving, our party has decided to donate to every voter, whether he votes for us or not, N95 masks and a bottle of to sanitize his hands and safely bring the person to the booth, cast his vote and go back.
So at the same time, COVID awareness.
COVID awareness आमी करतले. आमी लोकांक हाडटना फक्त आमकां मतां जाय म्हणून आमकां मतां मारा आनी तुमी मागीर तुमचें जाता तें जावं अशें आमचो एटिट्यूड ना. We will see to it that these people are protected. They cast their vote and they are not only protected today but protected for the next 5 years. They will get the best of civic amenities. We have the best of civic amenities at the international level in Fatorda, and we will make Fatorda a model constituency for the rest of Goa to look at. And the model that we are starting from here, which is an alliance of the Fatorda Forward and the model Margao Panel, together constituting the Margao Civic Alliance. I think this will be the first step towards Team Goa, which will get a pro-Goa government in place in 2022.
When you talk about COVID awareness during this pandemic time, also I believe that yours was the only party of Vijai Sadhana with the leaders where you went openly to all people saying that we need to take care, injection and otherwise not.
See, we had many things in mind. Like yesterday when the campaign got over, we wanted to finish it with a big road show. We had the route planned out. We had the people planned out. Our workers were supposed to be given that enthusiasm of it. But this would have given us a bad press. And this would have been irresponsible on our part. When there is a curfew being placed, though it's a night curfew only, when social distancing is the norm, has to be the norm that has to be followed, doing this would have been wrong. We would have been same like Modi Shah company, which is having huge road shows, and the COVID cases are just shooting up in Bengal. We could not behave irresponsibly. Therefore, we decided to do away with this road show. We have not inaugurated a single office of our candidates. Our candidates have got mobiles. We have a helpline number, which is a very proactive helpline number. So we said our candidates are walking, talking offices. We have seen to it that congregation of people which is not in the interest of public's health and safety should not be done because of us. So we have had very responsible political COVID behavior. And we stand for it. Even tomorrow, when we are asking votes, we are asking people to come out in large numbers to cast their vote, so that the BJP does not use even one defeat of ours in one word as an endorsement of its coal politics, as an endorsement of its ganja politics, as an endorsement for killing 1 lakh trees in Mole, or for sellout of Madhai. We want people to come out, but come out safely.
5 years down the lane, where the municipality was, along with the opposition leader, was in form, in ruling, and next year, 5 years down the lane, how this performance would help you in the next 2 days?
See, in the last 5 years, what we have managed, a reputation, is that we gave a stable council. There were no musical chairs in our council, first. Second, there was no charge of any corruption against us in the entire tenure. Third, we saw to it that the Hindu Bahujan Samaj, represented by the Bhandari Samaj, which had never got the status of the chairperson of Margao Municipality. We installed a Bandari Samaj member, and that to the youngest chairperson in the history of Goa at 22 years of age. In the council, she is today 26 years and she has been fielded as a candidate. So we have, to our distinction, stability, clean and stable governance we have given. I admit that certain issues have not been resolved completely, like the issue of Sosodo, which is a legacy issue, which is in the process of being solved, for which government support is required, and the government is not giving the required support at the moment. But I do hope after the elections, the victory that we are going to get will endorse the government's will give a government the push required to look at this as a civic issue and not as a political issue, and solve this Sosodo issue which is pending. Otherwise, issues in Margao which have to be addressed will be addressed by the Model Margao Panel as part of the Margao Civic Alliance. I do admit that my goals are my targets, and the targets of the Model Margao may be different. So after the council is formed, we will have to sit together, me and Digambar Kamath led both councils, and see to it that we have some short-term goals and some long-term goals, and have a periodic assessment whether we reach these goals or not. And we will create a mechanism to see that people get their due. People get the best that they deserve.
What is the confidence that we would like to see? Like all seats that Goa Forward?
See, the results depend upon the people. We have to give it the best shot. So I have campaigned in each and every house of Fatorda. I have gone to each and every house, seeking people's help, seeking their blessings for this model of development by consent. Ours is the only constituency which has seen major landmark infrastructure development. We have the Opinion Poll Square, which is like the Kampal of Salset. We have a relocated St. Francis Xavier Chapel, which has never happened in the history of Goa anywhere. We were all able to do it because the people were with us. We have never used police force for widening so many roads that have been widened in Fatorda. So everything has been with people's consent, with people's cooperation. So this model is a model for people of Goa to follow. So we are showcasing this model. And we have not done this development only where people can see it. We have even done it in the internal roads. So everybody, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, is a slogan of the ruling party's leader. But we have followed it in practice. They have only preached it. We have practiced it actually in Fatorda. So we are seeking votes from anybody and everybody on the basis of development. And I am perhaps one of the few politicians who has had the guts to say that if I have ushered in development, vote for me, otherwise don't vote for me. So this requires a lot of courage of conviction to reach a point that my development is my mantra for votes. So I am asking votes on the basis of development done and a program for a future-ready Fatorda. This future-ready Fatorda is what? We have infrastructure which the rest of Goa will get after 10 years. We have 100% underground cabling of electricity, underground sewerage systems. We have the best roads in the state. Now what is required? The widened roads cannot be used as parking spaces. You need CCTVs, which will regulate parking, which will regulate that the cycle lane that is kept is not misutilized for parking. So for this you require CCTV. This pandemic, which is just not ending, will require e-governance. People will have to have online solution for their problems sitting at home without going to the municipality. So that is one thing which we are proposing. E-governance, also smart Fatorda. So all this is about our vision about a future-ready Fatorda. So this future-ready Fatorda concept, along with the development by consent model that we have practiced, I think makes us best possible candidates in the fray. And people should endorse us. We have given representation to all communities. So ours is a real rainbow coalition of all communities coming together to go forward and take the place forward. So I think we will be endorsed completely by the people. It is now left to the people. I cannot say what will happen, but we have given it our best shot. We have strenuously worked. I have canvassed every house. I have had public meetings. I have left no stone unturned. However, I have had to face money and muscle power. Muscle power, there is one Tiger Anwar, a hoodlum, who has attacked our cadre, threatened them. Police did not arrest him. On the contrary, gave him anticipatory bail. And a person who had come to install one watch tower, which is sponsored by We for Fatorda, a charitable organization run by my wife. The person who came to install a watchtower was arrested by the police. But not this goon, because he was working for the BJP and its leader Damu Naik. Now you have had another, this wholesale fish market, extortion that has been done every day in the form of extorting fish. This person has been used by the BJP to divide the community. So BJP has done all the tricks of its trade. Its ministers, its chief minister, deputy chief minister, PWD minister, water resource minister, power minister, everybody has gone to small wards, addressed small meetings. But I am not scared of them. I believe the people are a vaccine against them. And they are the pandemic. And I am sure that we will emerge victorious.
Okay, coming on to the other things is Vijay, when we talk about this municipality polls, we have seen a lot of things happening. कितनेच पयला कितने जाला BJP कशा दीस रात आसता आनी सगळें. Coming to the assembly elections, is Vijay a threat to the party, the ruling party? That's why सगळें चलता.
सदांच अशें आसता that खंयच्या झाडाचेर फातर मारता तूं, ज्या झाडाक फळां लागता ताजेरूच कोण तरी फातर मारतलो न्ही. ज्या झाडाक फळांच लागना, ज्या आंब्याक आंबोच लागना, ताजेर कोण फातर मारतलो. सो आमचें झाड अशें जें गोंयचे मातयेंतल्यान रुजिल्लें, वयर सरिल्लें, जें गोंयकार आनी गोंयकारपणाच्या मंत्राचेर वयर सरिल्लें झाड. आमकां जीं फळां लागतात, what we reap is what we have sown. We have sown गोंयकारपण. We have got a leadership that stands by this, which is new faces, which is not family Raj, which is clean people, and which come from all communities. I represent that leadership which has brought out this thing. This is a threat to the BJP. This is a threat because I'm not asking votes on the basis of one community alone. I'm asking votes on the basis of Goinkarpon. I'm talking about our identity, which the BJP just does not accept. The other day was the birth anniversary of Dr. Jack Sequeira, the father of the opinion poll. Not a word of father of the opinion poll was mentioned by the chief minister. He paid tributes to him as the Goa's first opposition leader, which is rubbing salt on the wounds already there. In other words, saying that those who fought for Goa's identity never ruled Goa. He's trying to remind us that the person who fought for Goa's identity sat in the opposition, never became ruling. This is what he's trying to remind us. So these people who have had an allergy for Dr. Jack Sequeira, we are fighting them. And we consider Dr. Jack Sequeira as the epitome of our struggle for retaining Goa's identity. They have got a panel here in Margao called the Vibrant Margao Panel. They have the photo in the clouds of Mr. Manohar Parrikar. And they want to seek votes on the legacy of Mr. Parrikar. Now, I have worked under Parrikar. And Parrikar was instrumental in allotting funds for many of our projects which have seen the light of the day, including one smart road. That smart road was 1.8 kilometer long smart road, having dedicated ducts for electricity, fiber optic cable, water, sewerage and everything. It exists today. It's from Ravindra Bhavan to Allem. It's a 1.8 kilometer road widened by development by consent model. We wanted to name it after Mr. Manohar Parrikar on his birth anniversary. BJP councillors and their leader opposed this name to be given to Parrikar as a Manohar Parrikar road. They saw to it that his family, including this Utpal Parrikar, was made to issue a statement that we don't want his name by anybody who comes and puts it and all this. Now we have decided that since the BJP doesn't want his name there, and it was the only road naming which was duly passed by the council, which was contested with the DMA, and the decision is still pending. It is still with the DMA and it is pending. So we have now decided not to name that road after Manohar Parrikar because they don't want his name. We are going to name it after no individual. We are going to call it a Forward Avenue because it stands for the thought behind our process that we go forward in spite of all this. But I want to only remind the BJP, they can't ask votes in Fatarda using Manohar Parrikar's name because this is the same leader whose name they have opposed when it comes to naming in the new smart road after him. So selectively using Parrikar to get those votes is not possible in Fatarda because people of Fatarda are not fools. People of Fatarda have voted for me when 2012 elections there was a Manohar Parrikar wave in Goa. I was not elected to go to power. I was elected to be the voice in the opposition, which I continue to be today. So the self-respecting people of Fatarda cannot be taken for a ride by just slogans or by just statements by these tourists who have come here. These are only tourists who have come once and who are going to disappear and not be seen here. People know all this. And I have full faith in our electorate that they cannot be fooled. They have seen the development, they have enjoyed the development, and they are confident that this development will be further going forward to make Fatarda the model constituency of Goa.
One more thing we have seen is that whatever whoever might say, whichever political party might say, but whatever that Vijai has started the trend saying that let's come together. And that was seen in Margao, especially when you, the government, original, but we have started that before assembly. How would you see that?
नव्या वर्साक एक नवें रिझोल्यूशन करचें पडटा जे कोण चड क्रिसमस सिजनान पार्ट्यो करतात ते चिंतता की नव्या वर्साक आपूण ड्राय जातलो सोरो सोडटलो जो कोण चड सिगरेट ओडटा तो म्हणटा आपूण सिगरेट सोडटलो कितें तरी एक रिझोल्यूशन घेता आमच्या पक्षान नव्या वर्साचें रिझोल्यूशन 2021 घेतिल्लें टीम गोवा म्हण टीम गोवा टू सेव गोवा नाव म्हण वॉट इज टीम गोवा Team Goa is not only Goa Forward and Congress. Team Goa is everybody and anybody wedded to the interests of the state, wanting a गोंयकारवादी सरकार. हें करपा खातीर जो कितें सॅक्रिफायस करपाक जाय आमी तो आमी करपाक तयार आहा, including allying with people who may have differences with us. I don't have an ego problem to talk to anybody. हांवें केल्लो आहा कोणूय कोणाचें कितें हें आसूं वी हॅव टू युनायट टू गेट रीड ऑफ द BJP. And we can't do it alone. Remember this. Even if my panel wins all the seats I am contesting, it is not possible to defeat BJP alone. We have to all come together. The civil society is endorsing this. The NGOs who used to criticize me for having brought this BJP government in the state, and which later on brought these anti-people policies, they even are endorsing this Team Goa formula. And I feel even they should be part of it. All of us should come together in every constituency. BJP anywhere is dangerous to Goa and as BJP everywhere. So this is like a tyranny. This tyranny, I am not opposed to BJP just because we are not in the party. Because they have become they are dictatorial. They feel that the numbers can allow them to do anything. Every day they are flouting rules. See, even in these municipal polls, we have had irresponsible person like this Babu Asgaonkar having meetings late in the night, as if laws only apply to us. Our meetings were stopped at 8 o'clock. They would have meetings at 11 o'clock. So there is no first amongst equals here. And law is same for everyone. He should know this. But this irresponsible behavior has been seen everywhere. So ताजे खातीर सगळ्यांनी एक जावपाची गरज आहा हें म्हाका पूर्णपणान दिसता. म्हाका हांव ठोस मताचो की सगळे एक जावंक जाय आनी सगळे एक जावपाक कितेंय सॅक्रिफायस करचो पडल्यार सुद्दां आमी तयार आहा, पूण सगळे एक जावनूच BJPक घरा धाडूंक जाय. आनी हें जातलें. हें जर फाल्यां इलेक्शनाक पयलो डोस जर आमी लोकांनी आमकां दिलो जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता दुसरो डोस आपशींच येतलो. आनी ना आपशी येतलो दुसरी डोस. आनी ही पॅन्डेमीक जी पॉलिटिकल पॅन्डेमीक आमकां लागल्या ती आमी ना नपश्यात करूंक शकतले.
आफ्टर यू केम आउट विथड्रॉ फ्रॉम एनडीए आमकां सुनील ढवळीकरान लेगून स्टेटमेंट केलो की आतां आपणाच्या विजयार उलोवंक जाता. सो एनडीए ना we don't have a problem with to talk to him. And how would you see this situation?
Very good. See, opposition unity, if you see, is only visible to the people within the assembly. When we coordinate with each other, you may have seen that I become the focus of all the coordination. And I may not be the leader of the coordination. There are many people much more senior to me than there. But I become the unifier in chief, which is a role that I would like to play in the future also. I would be very keen to unite everyone, even at the cost of doing sacrifices for the sake of saving Goa now. See, we need to save Goa from those forces who have sold out आमची जी जीवनदायिनी म्हणटात lifeline of Goa, Madai, has been sold by match fixing by the BJP government. The mining has not started. Mole is sought to be slaughtered, 1 lakh trees. There is a big campaign called Save Mole, which is going on for almost a year now, but it's falling on deaf ears. We are talking of heritage. This government talks of heritage, but destroying the agricultural heritage, our natural heritage. So this type of a government which thinks that to be Swayambhur you have to cultivate marijuana, or that thinks that coal transportation is the only business that can happen in Goa by making Goa into a coal corridor, which is against the interests of the state, its people, its environment and its ecology. This government has to go in the coming year, and for it to go all have to unite. Sudhin Dhavlikar's thing that now I am no longer in the NDA is okay, but technically I was not in the NDA from 2019. It was only a matter of formality that I had to quit the NDA. I did not even do it because it would be considered a late step. But since the NGOs who supported us, who came out in support of the Margao Civic Alliance, the alliance between Goa Forward and Model Margao, insisted that I should quit immediately, I took this step. Basically, it is to please them and to set a record straight, and to set aside any doubt anybody may have on the sincerity of our party and of personally of my sincerity when it comes to fighting the BJP.
How big advantage it could be if your panel gets sweeps the polls, especially when you talk about all three of you coming together, and especially for the next upcoming assembly polls?
No, it would mean that the first dose is successful. What I am trying to say is to get rid of the pandemic, the first dose has to be given by the people tomorrow. If the people give us the first dose tomorrow, we will together create more people from the other places of Goa to give the second dose during the assembly elections. And we will be able to rid the state of this political pandemic.
So, when you left, what would be your message to your people?
My message to the people is very simple. We are going on one motto, that मत तुमचें काम आमचें. Vote for us tomorrow. We will do the work you deserve. We will give you the civic amenities you deserve. We will give you your civic rights you deserve. We will give you justice as citizens that you deserve. Make the sacrifice tomorrow. Get up at 7 o'clock. Be on the polling session at 8 o'clock. We will support you with all protective gear and everything. Please cast your vote. I know the situation is grave, but cast your vote. If you cast your vote, you will be a partner in progress in Fatorda and Margao. And you will have the right to criticize us, catch us by the ear, and say that you are making a mistake. But if you have not cast your vote, you lose that right. So please cast your vote and be the instrument of change. The instrument of change for the state. This is the first step towards it. This is the semi-final which BJP had said. Let us win the final. For us to win the final, we have to win the semi-final tomorrow and comprehensively defeat this BJP panel and the joint ventures who are part of it. All other parties who have been actually sponsored and financed as mercenaries by the same BJP. These guys who are contesting are not even contesting 13 seats, which is required for a clear majority in the council. They are contesting 8, some are contesting 6, and they are talking about models. How can they, with 6, what are you going to do? It very clearly shows these are non-serious entities. They are leaving parties. Congress people are leaving and going into BJP. Somebody is going into AAP. So this is all being done by the same set of people. That day there was a meeting in Pajifond, which was addressed by Damu Naik and others. The same people who are roaming with an independent candidate called Raju Ravni were there cheering Damu Naik. In the morning they roam with Ravni. So basically these are joint venture candidates. So my call to the people of Fatarda is defeat the BJP and their joint venture candidates. Give us a comprehensive victory. We will see to it that we will do justice to you. You will never regret. केन्नाच पिकास हांव तुका जावचें ना आमकां मत मारलें म्हणून. मत तुमचें, काम आमचें.
Thanks a lot from your busy schedule giving us your time.